5 people were in this home when the fire sparked yesterday morning, but only 3 people were able to make it out alive. And as we approach day 10 of the search for Jake, crews say they're about 80 to 90% certain that he is not in the water. They did pull those 4 people from that car. They were conscious and they were taken to area hospitals, but at last check tonight, we don't know how they're doing. At this point, we can confirm 2 people have died in this house fire. Piles and piles of people's belongings drenched and sitting on the side of the road. Even though volunteers are not needed today, they say print out a picture of Jake and carry it with you so you know what you're looking for. Didn't have the best sight today, but that didn't stop them from wearing these and constantly looking up. But John described the man that punched him as an 18-year-old with dreadlocks. Many people working to clean up this thick and heavy snow. And you can see here behind me balloons, stuffed animals, and flowers sitting on the front step of this home. The family says the community has really rallied behind them during this tragedy. Though he did not see the man shoot a zebra, Mike says he knows who did it. Jake's mother tells me he's walked to Wolf Creek in the past, but never alone. She said after he was gone for more than half an hour, she knew something was terribly wrong.
He just asked if he could go down to the creek, and my husband told him the directions, and that's the last I've seen of him.
Crews searching Wolf Creek for any sign of 16-year-old Jake Wilson. More than 200 volunteers tracing every inch of LaPorte City.
UTVs, ATVs, drones. We've got a plane up with FLIR. We've got horseback.
Jake has autism and a mild intellectual disorder, causing him to think younger than his age.
He thinks like a 9-year-old. And he will go up to anybody and talk to anybody and will go with anybody. So he's not afraid of anything.
If you can put your mind at that same level where you're thinking like a 9 or a 10-year-old child, what interests you, what might catch your attention, what is captivating, where are places that they can find warmth, they can find shelter, they can find enjoyment.
Jake's mother pleading for her son to come home.
And if you could say anything to your son, what would that be?
I just want you back. I want you to play your music. I want you to rock in the car. I want you to argue with me, being a 16-year-old. And I love him.
And crews not stopping until they find him.
He's a pretty vulnerable little boy, and he's probably pretty scared, and rightfully so. I think any of us would be if we were in his position. So it's very important that we find him, and we find him quickly, and I'm very optimistic, and the town is very optimistic as well that will happen.
And nearly 30 people started the search last night, and hundreds showed up today. After searching every part of LaPorte City, they plan to thin out in the surrounding towns if need be. Taylor Bailey, News 7, KWWL. Ron, as you drive through the town of Sumner, you see piles and piles of people's belongings drenched and sitting on the side of the road. This is just the beginning of the cleanup process here. People's things picked up and thrown around like they meant nothing. Piles of soaked items litter the sidewalk.
I don't know if it's really hit me or not. A lot of the stuff I was going to get rid of, but I don't want to get rid of it that way.
Floodwaters taking over Judy Kirchhoff's home and destroying all of this.
There's probably some things I probably would have taken out, but I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it.
Nearby, children shoveling soaked items into bags to be thrown away.
It's tough. It's tough having to clean up everything and throw away stuff that you didn't think you was going to have to throw away.
You may remember this road was completely covered by water. A familiar sight across much of Sumner this weekend.
As the night progressed and it still was raining, it just kept coming up, and then when the creek went over the road, that was it for us.
Jeff Gruber's cars and basement drenched.
Where the first block is on my house, the water comes straight down our driveway, into our garage, and into our basement.
The town of Sumner trying to stay positive after the devastation and 40 hours without power.
And I think that was the happiest thought, electricity.
And the floods also destroying some people's air conditioners and furnaces, something I'm told most people replaced earlier this month after some flash flooding. Live in Sumner, Taylor Bailey, News 7, KWWL. Ron and Abby, at this point, authorities do have a good idea of where Jake is not, but they have searched dozens of miles around LaPorte City, and so far, no sign of the teen.